How's it going, everybody? We are back. We like Dota League 2025. We've got a Quas Division lower bracket matchup for you tonight. Harry Potter and the Glizzy Goblet versus MUDBOYS in an elimination series. Winner moves on to face Looming Fruit. Loser, it is the end of the run for them here in this year's WLDL. I'm excited to see these teams go up against each other. Especially because they never went up against each other in group stage. They had trouble scheduling their matchup that they were supposed to have in the group stage, so they weren't able to make it happen, and now we are finally getting to see these two teams go head-to-head. Should be a very good match. Let's see, we already have a draft on our hands here.
Radiant's ban.
We will get right into it. Got Huskar, Viper, Sniper, Dark Willow banned out by MUDBOYS.
10 seconds to go.
Few annoying mids that Yams evidently does not want to play against. Very early Huskar ban, which is funny. Maybe in response to the first phase AA ban, but AA is just a really strong hero. Morphling taken out as well. And then the Wraith King by HPGG. And they're going to lead off the draft with a Beastmaster. This hero's been really in meta, but not one that we get to see a lot of in WLDL. I feel like there's not a lot of players that actually bust this hero out. So I'm excited to see what HPGG do with it.
10 seconds to go.
Yeah, the Dark Willow ban is always very targeted because of how much Dark Willow has been played by Miss Snow. And it's a pretty strong hero here, not a lot of people like playing against. In our last series against Harry Potter and the Glizzy Goblet, we were very mean and didn't ban the Dark Willow, but then picked it on first pick for ourselves. So it's always a point of contention in the draft chat with this team. Void Spirit going to be picked up first phase. This is one of the Yam specialty heroes. Morphling is the only Yam specialty hero that ends up getting banned out. It's generally the Ember, the Void Spirit, the Morph, which sometimes get fully banned out. Sometimes teams like to test which ones of them they can beat. Yams is level 30 on all three of them, so it's scary stuff when one of them gets picked up. And MUDBOYS, for their whole history in WLDL that I've known of them,
10 seconds to go.
they always have first phased one of these heroes. Not like every single game, but they often do it when they get the chance. Yeah, we're going to get the Tidehunter and the Nature's Prophet banned out second phase by HPGG. MUDBOYS take out the Silencer. Pretty solid support, one that we've seen a decent amount in pro games, and one that Void Spirit in particular, I'm sure, does not want to deal with.
5 seconds.
And the Titan Natures... The MUDBOYS do have Darth Mauled standing in for Moose Style tonight. I know MUDBOYS play a lot. They have 5 Tidehunter games this season. They play it a lot on Moose Style. I don't know. I haven't done my scouting on Darth Mauled. I don't know if HPGG have. Probably. Dazzle, instant response is the Lion, which I know HPGG plays a lot of, kind of their go-to when the Dark Willow is banned. Gonna pick up the Vengeful Spirit as well. Lots of control, lots of single target stun, which is something that's gonna help you a lot when you're playing against a Void Spirit. The Dazzle, I think we've mostly been seeing support as of late. It had some time in the spotlight as like a core support flex when the ult cut changed. But I think after eating some nerfs, it's been more of a dedicated support hero. Phoenix going to be picked up as well. That'll be your other support, most likely. I know we've seen some core Phoenixes get played here and there. So
seconds to
there's a possibility that we see that come out. But I
go. 5
believe
seconds.
I think Magnus on MUDBOYS, the
Dyer's
player
pick.
Magnus. I comment on this every time. It's definitely getting old if you've watched enough of my MUDBOYS streams. Um, the player Magnus, I believe, plays a pretty solid Phoenix. Um, and then the Mars classic combo,
10
Phoenix
seconds
Mars.
to go.
Mars also likes taking advantage of that
5 seconds.
armor reduction from the Dazzle, so I like that combo as well. This is a pretty solid early fighting lineup here. MUDBOYS can pretty safely pick a super late game hero. I think they're gonna have their eyes on something like a Medusa for their last pick because I know they like to play it. Maybe that was just with Font Forward when they were the carry in like the primary carry for the team last year. Um, but I wouldn't be surprised if they like playing it on Ziggy G as well. Yeah, exactly. Sack Smash. Stand in for MUDBOYS from Darth Maul. Excited to see how that plays out. I assume we'll be playing offlane because they're filling in for Moose Style, who's played offlane all season. HPGG, they move their positions around quite a bit. Seeing the Lion, I'm pretty confident that'll be Miss Snow, but I think when we played against them, Miss Snow played carry at least one of the games. Um, Usually Bork and Eights, I think, are the ones that tend to stick to laning together, but I think Bork has played mid as well. Um, yeah, they swap things around quite a bit. So even once they lock in, I won't. I mean, we can be pretty confident the Beastmaster. I mean, Beastmaster's been played at like all three core positions, but probably an offlaner. Line and Venge, probably your supports. Um, we've seen some Venge core even after the change to Universal Heroes and after she stopped being a Universal Hero. Bristleback gonna get picked up. So you've got Can't Hurt Me from the front versus Can't Hurt Me from the back. In the Mars versus Bristleback matchup. It does
Radiant's
mean,
ban.
like, Bristleback and Beastmaster are both often considered offlaners. Um, so, I mean, they both can play wherever, especially lately. They're both perfectly fine taking any of the core
10
lane
seconds to go.
spots. Um,
5 seconds.
yeah, I don't know. I guess it's just they're both kind of like melee, run at you, AoE, high damage kind of heroes. Um, so looking for something. I mean, they ban out the Drow. The sniper's already banned out. I wouldn't mind seeing just like a ranged backliner take advantage of the Vengeful Spirit, aura, and armor reduction. I mean, the armor reduction with the like this would probably be a Venge Bristle, maybe safe lane.
Radiant's ban.
Which I think can play quite nicely together. Yeah, Dragon Knight gonna get banned out. It's gonna be slim pickings for like ranged carries here. Because I think both teams really want a ranged carry. I mean, not a crazy draft idea to come up with when you're just looking at
10
four
seconds to
melee
go.
carries, but or four melee like
5
two
seconds.
threes, and both teams are missing a carry and both teams are missing a ranged core. But I'm curious. We've seen triple melee lineups totally work out fine. Um, you've got enough mobility on most of these
Dyer's
heroes
ban.
that yeah, like the Lifestealer is gonna get banned out because you're worried about him like chunking into the Mars. I'm not positive that HPGG want to carry. I think there's a decent chance they're looking for a mid as well. They could
10
go for
seconds to
some
go.
like backline dive or like some like just something that lanes well
5
into the Void
seconds.
Spirit.
Dyer's pick.
Yeah, there's the Deuce of Ben. I definitely think that needed to come out. I think that would have been MUDBOY's first choice of carry pick here.
Ten seconds to
Yeah, I'm
go.
curious. I could see them going for like a Quap on
5
HPGG.
seconds.
And maybe not even... They've also done some weird laning things in the group stage. I didn't catch how their upper bracket series went. And if they did anything funky there. But they've definitely had some fun this year.
Radiant's pick.
Ooh, it's going to be a Necrophos. That is a ranged hero, technically. But it's kind of the same thing as a Beastmaster and a Bristleback. I mean, at least... Oh, they... No, because they wouldn't have... They'd have to play, like, Mars carry. I was thinking, like, can you just slam, like, a Bristleback? I mean, not a Bristleback. A Timbersaw? If my team had MUDBOYS draft up to this point, we would probably just slam a Timbersaw and figure out how to make the lane. We'd probably play a carry Timbersaw. Or at least a safe lane. Because we have a Timbersaw player who really likes seeing triple strength cores. And that's exactly what you're looking at here. Or is Necrophos an intelligence hero? I can never remember. But he feels like a strength hero. Either way, just the Beastmaster and Bristleback probably would have been enough for us to be looking at the Timbersaw. You kind of want a right clicker. There's just not a lot of options for those with the Deuce of Drow band out. Never mind, there's Gyrocopter.
Take your pick.
Yeah, that plays very, very nicely into this draft. That's actually maybe better. I mean, I think you'd take the Dusa if you got it. Okay, yeah, it is going to be Darth Mauled on the Mars. Nothing crazy there. Again, I don't know exactly how these heroes are going to lane. I'm guessing it's going to be Bork in the mid. I think I was wrong before when I said, like, maybe it's Eights and Jaeger Knight that normally lane together. Although even that is clearly not happening here. They swap around a lot, is what it comes down to. I'm guessing this will be a safe lane Bristle with the Venge. I feel like I like that lane a lot. I like a Lion Beastmaster lane. I like a Necrophos. Hats. Very good hats. Naked Mars, a little disappointing. Not much on the Venge either, but at least has the wings. Classic Lion, solid Beastmaster. Understated Necro, but I do kind of like this. I like this mask with the hood. Classic Bristleback. We've got the Bird Void Spirit. You know that earns points in Whitehawk's book. Dazzle's a classic. Phoenix and solid Gyro. Hats. I think the lack of a set on Mars into just the Immortal Wings on Venge is going to put it over the edge and make it go to Harry Potter and the Glizzy Goblet. And as for whose actual draft I prefer, that Gyro, I think, puts it over the edge for me. I think both of these drafts want to do similar things. But the way I see these kind of lineups playing out is that you're going to have everybody except the Gyro on MUDBOYS facing off, like, brawling with all 5 of HPGG. And this Gyro is just going to be having the time of his life, hitting some satyrs and kobolds and ogres in the jungle. I think, like, this set of 4 heroes is so good at fighting early. This set of 5 heroes is really good at it as well. I don't think MUDBOYS will necessarily be winning every fight 4v5, but I think the point is that they'll be fighting 4v5. And then I think this Gyro is just going to be huge and really hard to deal with. We are going to get HPGG running up the high ground. Jaegernet's going to take a bunch of damage at the top of the stairs. It's actually Ottoman Empire getting pulled back. Huge stun from Miss Snow off of the back, but it is First Blood just off our screen, as is tradition. Gex picking it up on Ottoman Empire. Miss Snow going to take some more damage from Ziggy G, but Ziggy G's a little bit low as well. Another double stun from Miss Snow, but does finally get brought down. So it's a double kill for the Phoenix to start out the game. Beastmaster gets the one bounty rune that anybody was fighting for. So it should be... Oh, they're going to TP. Who's getting this rune? Nobody's getting this rune. The Snow's going to get this rune. One of the mids is just going to find this rune here later. And be like, what the hell? What's that thing doing there? Okay, so it's... oh no, it is Bork. This is so mean. Bork, I'm so mad at you. Bork, I'm so mad at you for doing this to me. I have become a biased caster because of this. Because that's not Eights, that's Bork. This is Eights. This is funny. But putting the 8s in your name too? Cruel. Jaeger Knight low, but so is Magnus, who's gonna get popped by one last Quill Spray. Actually, a ranged creep, I guess, is what finishes it off. Or a melee creep. Melee creep. 12 damage. Just enough. Splits up the gold. Yeah, Yams is so good at this hero. I feel like Necro normally perfectly happy landing into a Void Spirit, but this is Yams Void Spirit. Although I say that, taking a bit of damage does get the barrier off, though. It has the all damage barrier. Ooh, getting pretty low. Uphill miss, though. 8's taking some creep aggro now. This might be another just, like, stare at mid all game. Another pullback from the Remnant. Get some tower shots in there as well. Going for it on no health. Has the barrier. Oh. This is so close. They're playing right on the edge in this mid lane. I don't want to look away. Because as soon as I look away, one of them's going to be dead. My kill feed's going to pop off. I'm going to be really sad that I looked away. Okay, it looks... I'm going to regret this. One of them's about to die. So far, I mean, it's pretty even across the board, but MUDBOYS with a slight last hitting advantage so far. Other than the mid lane... Oh, there's the bounty. Yams finds the bounty rune with the water rune. Like, oh! Who left that there? Side lanes... I mean, we've already seen Magnus go down once, and this is actually going to be pretty scary again. Magic Missile at the ready as soon as they have the vision for it, but it's going to be just out of range. Magnus will be able to walk it off. Top lane, I mean, all of these lanes can be pretty volatile. Lots of damage coming out from the Phoenix and Mars as well. Mid lane, I'm suddenly feeling like nobody's ever going to die in this lane, because they're both just going to be so good at testing their limits. It's bottom lane. I should just be looking at bottom lane. Ottoman Empire goes down to Magnus. Poison Touch. Poison Touch. It'll get you. It'll always get you. It feels so bad. Just get like you have the both ends of like guy shoots green goo at you until you die. in this lane, like Bristleback and Dazzle both just want to do the same thing to a support in their lane, and it's just shoot green goo at you until you die. The boots are going to help Magnus shoot green goo at the Vengeful Spirit until she dies. Although she does already have boots of her own, which is nice early pickup to help deal with that. Up top, Gex getting a little low. Able to Icarus dive away from all of the Beast Hawk. The mid lane, they're at plenty of health now. They're not even limit testing anymore. Action still up top. Gex back in, taking damage once again. Does have the brown boots. Trying to get away. 8s is pretty fast. The Hawk doesn't quite connect on the right target. The axes are not quite enough either. There's also a little bit of damage coming out from the Essence Eater Facet, but it was not quite enough. Game feels really quiet. I don't know if it's just how my audio settings are. Oh, here's some green goo added again. But gonna be forced to exceed, but the green goo goes both ways. That's what I'm telling you about this lane. Like, everybody retreats because somebody's green gooed. Gets Gex in a little bit of trouble again, but again able to get away. Constant harass from these fire spirits. I wish I could get, just because I haven't watched this lane too much so far, I wish I could just get a quick update of like how much damage has been dealt by fire spirits so far. To know like how it's been going landing those, because that plays such a huge role in the lane. I'd go like off of the last hitting, probably not a ton. Why do I ever look elsewhere? Yams makes the rotation down, and they find a huge kill picking off Jaeger Knight as Ottoman Empire was over securing the Lotus. Looks like, where did the Dazzle go? Dazzle went up to cover mid to make sure they're not taking too much damage on the tower. You have the siege creep hitting, and secures the 6-minute rune as well, which is a haste rune. Gonna use that to run top. They could chain this to another gank, although Darth Maul not sitting on a lot of health. But here comes that hasted Dazzle, Poison Touch out, the green goo in effect again. They're actually going to turn on to 8s now as Miss Snow gets the stun to get it under tower. Darth Maul trying to get in on the action. Ottoman Empire making the rotation up as well. They're all sitting pretty low on MUDBOYS. I mean, everybody except the Vengeful Spirit is low here. Stun onto Gex into the Hex. They have tons of control from these two supports, but has the Icarus dive away once all the stuns have been cleaned up. And now in a little bit of trouble, the green goo is gonna find 8s. You all are going to be hoping that the Bristleback and Dazzle get banned next game, because you're going to get real sick of hearing me say green goo by the time this game's over. Little bit of pause for Jaeger Knight. Get some computer issues worked out. Looking at probably a Vanguard. Ready to pick up the health booster. How's the mid lane going? The mid lane, it's actually slightly Bork favored. Probably just from the rotation. Probably just some lanes, or some waves that Yams missed. Both have level 6. One charge has been used recently, so it's probably what this missing health on 8s is from. Name of Yeah, I forgot that the players see it that way too. Yeah, taking advantage of the pause to disable the player names showing. Low on mana for the Mars, but has the Soul Ring going. Phase Boots Blink Dagger, Mana Boots finished for the Beastmaster. I also didn't process, after I spent the whole draft talking about how like their cores can go anywhere. It is a safe lane Beastmaster. I mean, I'm guessing at the end of the day, they're mostly prioritizing just how they think the lanes match up better. Big Icarus dive and rotation over from Yams. Oh, that's a big kill. That's 8s dying as soon as they respawn. Very nice rotation to get that punish from MUDBOYS, who are now up to a 3k net worth lead. Let's take a look at that chart. And also that graph.
Radiant's mid tower could use a
Yeah.
hand.
Pretty good. Exactly where you want your gyro to be. And this is kind of... like, it's already sort of starting with these 4 heroes making plays around the map. It's not like a full 4v5 yet. But now Magnet's going to make the rotation over to mid. They're going to try to bring down Yams. No points in Ghost Shroud yet, so not going to be able to turn off the green goo from the Dazzle. Rotation's going to be there from Ottoman Empire. Will it be in time? Doesn't have a swap quite yet, but does have the stun on Yams under tower. Is going to be able to finish it off with the Disseminate? Dissimulate. Disseminate is a different hero. Assimilate is this purple guy's. Yes, Sack Smash. As we just saw, it does show the same for players. I leave it on because it's funny. I enjoy this bit. Rank check on teams, they are similar. Fuck it. Oh no, I have it. So I have their like team MMRs. They're similar. I'll give you that for now. I have a graphic for it.
Radiant's mid tower could use a hand.
Maybe I can get to the graphic for it fast enough. There we go. Hopefully nothing important's happening in the game, because I'm not talking about it, because I'm showing you this! HPGG... Oh, there's a Mars Arena. We gotta watch that. We'll talk about that later. It's 8's dying again. Magnus also... Oh, punishes the go on Ziggy G. So yeah, hopefully you absorbed what those numbers were. HPGG have the higher team average MMR. The way we total that up from a, like, ranking the teams at the start of the season perspective is we take the average of the top 4 players on the team, so you can't just have, like, one low MMR player tanking the team. Oh, I guess I could do this? No, I can't see them in-game. I actually never tried to do that. I didn't realize that that wasn't an option. Hopefully that's enough for you, though. It's like 5,400 top 4 average for HPGG, like 4,800 top 4 average for MUDBOYS. Darth Maul is a little bit higher than the player they're replacing as well. They're gonna get 4 heroes for HPGG, making their way up to top lane, getting lots of pressure. Double Boars, Cart. Ooh, they're gonna find Magnus off to the side. Oh, barely doesn't finish it with the scythe, but will still get the kill. Miss Snow just barely survived, so it's pretty clean kickoff for HPGG, which they did need. Net worth lead is starting to get cut into there, especially off of that kill. Gex with the laser trying to get some blind going, but this... The catapult's gonna take care of finishing that off for them. Jaeger Knight also getting pressured down in the bot lane. Yeah, HPGG bringing more numbers to one place. Might get a little bit of a response here. Dazzle going to look to initiate. Ottoman Empire has to be careful. Stun goes out. Oh, and Dazzle has reached the end of his rope, but Vengeful Spirit will get brought down. Able to finish off that kill. So they get something in return for this tower. Yam's also getting some pressure onto the mid tower. Well, Bork is off in the jungle. I almost corrected myself. I looked over and I was like, oh, that's not Bork, that's 8's. No, that's Bork. Being very mean to me. Alright, what do we got for items? Working on the Glimmer, has the Cloak for Magnus. Working on just a straight Ags for Yams. Silence is quite good in this game. They are not going to stop Jaeger Knight from taking this tower. They're going to try to punish it. They have the arena up, so this should just be a very dead person back. Spear is not quite on the mark, but the egg is there. No chance to bring it down. They get a pretty clean kill. But HPGG, they're taking advantage of having some better tower push than MUDBOYS have. 3 towers. 3 towers to none. Looking to just kind of play a tower push strategy. Nice dodge of the stun with the Dissimulate. Trying to get onto Ottoman Empire. Ult comes out from Ziggy G. Now the Rocket Barrage is going to be there. Not the Rocket Barrage. No, that is Rocket Barrage. Stun up onto Yams from Miss Snow, but not going to be much more. They don't have the arena, but Darth Maul is going to get in with the spear. Not exactly the target they're looking for, but still going to play right under this tower. MUDBOYS are actually bringing all 5 here. Trying to win the numbers game, but that's giving some space to 8's over in the side lane, and they're not getting a ton for it right now. They got that kill on Ottoman Empire, but it looks like that's all they're getting. 8s, ooh, big stacks. It's going to even out that net worth lead a little bit. It's not a huge net worth lead. It was a huge net worth lead, and now it's stalled out from those towers getting taken. But one more stack means this is going to be a huge injection of net worth. This should just about finish the Ags for the Beastmaster, I think. And that's exactly what you're looking for on this hero. Like, that's the timing you're playing around, is getting this Drums of Slom, taking an early Roshan, and then chaining that into all of the tempo and aggression in the world. Smoke to help clear it. Clarity's coming out as well. What's going on in the world other than that ancient camp being stolen? Or taken, not stolen. That is their own staff. Stun up onto the Mars. Scythe as well with the Finger of Death, but the Shallow Grave is absolutely massive. Denies everything, but they get the swap back on the Gyro. That could be an even bigger kill. Egg on the side. This is going to be a big one. They're all trapped in the arena with no way to hit the egg. But do they have any damage to follow it up? Jaeger Knight's so low. Gex wants to finish off the Bristleback. Is going to manage to take them down. 8s, though, maybe looking for some revenge. Good regen available on Gex. Gets the slow through. 8s, meanwhile, finishes farming up that camp and finds Yams on the side. But a big spear from Darth Maul finishes off 2. It ends up being 2 for 4. Very important kills for HPGG, though. Ooh, 8s has to be a little careful here. So close to that Aghanim Scepter, just wants to go off and get a few more camps, but also doesn't want to see this tower go down. Gex sitting pretty low as well, very slowed down by the boars. Ooh, it's close. Jaeger Knight might just run in there, but I think they're going to trust that Phoenix, who already has a full Spirit Vessel, pretty well farmed. Closer to the Bristleback than the other supports. Right, Yam's farm has actually been suffering a little bit after just the one death there. I'm actually surprised that was as impactful as it was. They have more stacks going. I think they didn't even finish farming this fully. Maybe they got, like, Yams came up here to try to contest it. That was where that death happened. Had the sense that this might be getting taken. This is the Ags on the way. Yep, there it is. Drums of Slom on board. See if they do the play of going right for a Roche. Gonna need a little bit of regen for 8s before they can fully make that happen, but very possible. I'm curious how on top of this MUDBOYS will be. They're definitely aware that the Beastmaster was close to that, because Yam should have seen those stacks, and they would have seen the inventory. Ags also not far away for the Gyrocopter. A lot of early Ags in this game. MUDBOYS are going to look to take the first Tormentor, pick up that free Ag Shard for themselves. Going to protect it with the Aether Remnant. HPGG making the rotation down here. They're going to smoke up, maybe look to get in here while they're all low. The Tormentor already taken. They're healing up Yems, thinking about TPing away, but Jaeger Knight gets caught by that trap that was left and is going to die before the rest of the team can connect with the smoke. Now HPGG, do you commit in? You get the roar. You have the Drums of Slom going. Gyro getting low. They bring down the Gyro immediately. Egg is out, but they might have the damage to take it down. They have the attack speed. They pop the Egg. Yam's trying to finish off this snow. Kills off the line, but now it's going to get brought down as well. Many kills go the way of 8888888 as that Drums of Slom, it's not an objective, but it is a huge team fight that timing turns into. 4 brought down on the side of MUDBOYS, only Jaeger Knight and Lion lost. And that was a 4v5, essentially. Like, Jaeger Knight was dead before anybody was there. I mean, they spent quite a few resources to kill the Bristleback, and then I think they weren't ready for the rest of HPGG to show up, like, right on the back of that. They had a little bit of a high ground advantage, but maybe with what spells they were missing, just, like, overplayed it a little bit. And especially with the fight happening in such a tight area around those stairs, the Drums of Slom doing exactly what you want them to do. Halberd early on Bristleback. So this is like a proper carry Beastmaster offlane Bristleback. That's going to be annoying for Ziggy G, who is deciding on a neutral item. Yeah, Essence Ring is the call with Vampiric. Pretty nice pickup. Lots of sustain from that little item. Get maybe an Iron Talon, but now it's just another Essence Ring with Tough. Yams hunting for a tower and for Vengeful Spirit. Stun into the deny. Nicely played by Ottoman Empire. Swap back, but nobody going to be quite nearby enough to get on top of Yams. See, we do have that Blink Dagger and the Vlads on Mars. Glimmer Cape on Magnus. Yeah, that Ags is finished on Void Spirit. They're going to smoke up, but they find 8s immediately. There's the silence from that Ags reveal, and they have so much damage. Bork doesn't stand a chance. Torn apart by Ziggy G. They've got eyes on HPGG over here. MUDBOYS are looking to commit into this fight. It's like they're not quite close enough, and the slows are going to keep coming out. Here comes the rocket that'll hold the bristle back in place for a moment, but gets up to the high ground. It looks like they're just not interested in it anymore. They're going to turn on to Ottoman Empire instead. But Myth Snow's right there with a stun as well. Darth Maul jumped in, blink away from Myth Snow, so it's only going to be the Vengeful Spirit that gets caught up in the arena. The egg does not feel necessary at all, but, you know, get your timings in, get your combo. They do turn it around on Jaeger Knight as well, but now Ace is on top of Magnus. Is able to get the Shallow Grave off. Holy, I thought that guy was dead for sure. Scythe does manage to finish it off, but that gives them enough time to get the kill on 8s, and Darth Maul finds the kill on the side for Miss Snow, and they bring down Bork as well. It's a full team wipe at only the cost of your Dazzle. And that is a huge team fight win. That looked like it was going to be so little, and they kind of did a little bit of save your buddy, did a little bit of, like, you know, we saw them commit the resources, so maybe we can take the fight after. Like, you knew Arena Egg was down, but still, just, like, both of these teams are so well equipped for capitalizing on a tight-packed team fight. And so, like, everybody wants to be on top of each other, but then it's like, who has the damage? Well, the Ag's Gyrocopter, the Ag's Void Spirit, who's going to go right in as Jaeger Knight comes and steps up to contest this tower. Ziggy G, though, getting controlled up. Again, there's that single target control. Swap back. They're going to be able to secure the kill on the Gyro. That swap, I think, denied the Shallow Grave that would have at least prolonged life. Yams back in. Silence onto 4, but immediately just going to dip right back out. 8th round and block the path, but the blink passed into the stun, canceling the TP. They're going to find the Void Spirit here as well. And an excellent read. They didn't even have... No, they did have this vision. Okay, so that saw Yams' ruse. It just went down. But it could see this. And so knew that they needed to blink past the stairs, but that was still pretty sick. Yeah, that Spirit Vessel that we've seen, plus the 4 Staff on Gex, very mobile bird here. Also has a Vampiric Essence. How many Essence Rings are in this game? Oh, just 3. It felt like more, but it's just the 3 neutral items I saw people choose were Essence Ring. There's 4 Searing Signets. Which, like, yeah, those heroes are all going to enjoy that. 8's hanging on to the water bottle. It is pretty good. Here's going to be that roast timing. They are maybe going to look to contest it, but they're finding the Dazzle. The Dazzle's kind of alone for this, with scouting out the ult. Gets the Shallow Grave off on their own body. Now they're turning into 8s. They get the big egg with the arena as well. They've already taken down the Aegis, and they're holding everybody at bay. Stun immediately on the respawn. Spear into the tree. They're going to bring down the Beastmaster twice. Buyback from Magnus means back into the fight as well. 8's up in the middle of everybody, but the damage is not there yet for this Necrophos. to not able to bring down anybody else. Jaeger Knight. Oh, oh. This X of near death. The Spear and the Remnant. My goodness. This game's been so... Like, it's felt super back and forth. It has been super back and forth for quite a while. But MUDBOYS, it feels like, still, like, winning the second team fight. Or, like, I don't know. It feels like they're coming out on top of a lot of these engagements that feel like they should be more even. Holy, what is Gex's farm doing over here? Like, I thought that full Spirit Vessel Force Staff felt like a lot of items, but damn. This guy's rich. He's a rich fucking bird. Oh, Yams gets the Remnant taunt. They find the Spear as soon as the Necro TP's in as well. They're going to immediately blow up Bork. No, gets the Death Seeker away. Swap as well for the barrier for the save. Now Jaeger Knight in the middle of everybody. Everybody's sitting pretty low. They get the Roar out, but the save is there again. But now Ziggy G is going to be the one left in No Man's Land, and Mars goes down as well. So now it's a big teamfight win for Harry Potter and the Glizzy Goblet. Can they get more? Scythe out, kill off Magnus. Jump up to the high ground for Yams with the Astral Step, trying to escape into the trees. They know this guy's probably still around. This courier can be a little scary, going for the TP away. You get the courier. What is this? Avenging Missile on my Vengeful Spirit. Not the melee attack. I haven't seen this facet taken, like, ever. I took it for a while when they first added facets, but it quickly became popular to... like, exclusively go the melee facet. I only noticed because I saw it take Ottoman Empire 2 clicks to kill the Yams courier, and I was like, hold on, that's supposed to be a melee hero. Those are supposed to kill a courier in one hit. It's not a huge difference. It's mostly a nice tool for the lane that makes the melee so good, just from the reduced base attack time. You're not, like, doing anything crazy with it. And if this game goes super late, we could see this Avenging Missile start to come into play. Has that early shard as well, which is going to play into that. Now, smoke up from Harry Potter and the Glizzy Goblet. The net worth lead has almost completely disappeared. Will they find a Roar on Ziggy G? That's the best possible target you can find. This guy's instantly deleted. Exactly the smoke they're looking for, and they're going to chain this into a tier 2. Now we could be seeing Harry Potter and the Glizzy Goblet taking their first lead of the game. To be right on the edge. I think the tower will set it apart. Yeah, MUDBOYS, they're just going to be pushing out the other lanes, because without their gyrocopter, hard to contest this push. Pick up the tower, and yeah, they've taken over the net worth lead completely. I mean, I say completely. It's basically even, but... Working on the Manta style for the Void Spirit. KB done on the Beastmaster, looking at a Shiva's Guard next. And on the Spirit Vessel for the Vengeful Spirit. Aether Lens for the Dazzle. Does Aether Lens increase the range that you can travel away from your body? I don't know. Smoke up for 5 on MUDBOYS. They want to try to find a fight to get this game back in their favor. The smoke is going to get broken on Yams. Immediately goes over to 8, but has the BKB stun up from the Roar. But it's not going to be enough to stop the egg. Jaeger Knight's going to be the one who goes down. Ziggy G in with the BKB after the swap. Trying to finish off 8's. Rocket going out. They find the catch on the Vengeful Spirit. It looks like that might be the only other kill they get. But 2 kills at the cost of no lives of your own is a pretty nice find for yourselves. Also going to find a Damage Amperoon for Yams. Make their way up top. Bork, if Bork shows on this wave, even if Bork doesn't show on this wave, the way that these guys are moving, who's going to get a glimpse of each other first? 8th is going to see Yams. Or sorry, Bork. Damn it. Darth Maul now is on to where this Necrophos is, gets the spear back, and here comes the rest of MUDBOYS. BKB TP, Bork will be able to get the Nightfall out of here. MUDBOYS are going to continue to push this advantage here into Tier 2 tower, so immediately claiming back their net worth lead. They're not quite what it used to be. This game's really on a knife's edge, but it's like, it doesn't feel like it's going to go super late. I mean, maybe it will, just from the back and forth nature of it. But right now, it feels like you're just going to hit a fight at, like, 45 minutes, where one team dies and doesn't have buyback, and that's just game. Like, and I don't know which team it's going to be, because both of these teams have shown themselves very capable of winning team fights. I feel like this Mars-Phoenix combo is still doing a ton of work to, like, give MUDBOYS the edge in the team fights, and Bork is going to get found again, hitting the mid-wave. They know they don't have the BKB, but the swap is there from Ottoman Empire. It's like the Vengeful Spirit will be able to trade their life, but maybe we'll be able to get away as well with the double stun. Now, yeah, oh, the disarm from Jaeger Knight coming into play. The taunt, though, is there from the Aether Remnant. They do finish off Ottoman Empire. Now, they want to hunt for more. They get the arena on top of Mid Snow. See if they can find another support kill here. Here's the egg off on the side of the arena again, but most of HPGG was not caught in the arena. But they're going to be able to escape from the egg. And it'll just be the two supports going down. More momentum in the favor of MUDBOYS. Yeah, we got that Veil of Discord, Plate Mail ready to go. Close to the Shivas. Yeah, we saw the BKB. They're going for 2 Shivas, which is okay. Oh, Yams and the Invis rune is going to find 8s farming here. Silence up, but immediately the BKB the turn with the Roar. Yams a little bit in no man's land. Darth Maul trying to get up there to help with the BKB. They're going to find the full kill onto the Void Spirit. Now they turn onto the Phoenix. No Supernova available. ZG, though, standing in the middle of everybody. Pops the BKB, swap back onto Magnus. Trying to find the Dazzle, but 8 is getting low as well. They can't pursue. Gex able to escape as well. Now they are finally able to bring down the Dazzle, but gets the space needed to get the other cores out of there. And Gex, technically not a core, but, like, at this point counts. He's still working on that Spirit Vessel on the Venge. Blink Glimmer for the Lion. Plate Mail, BKB, Halberd. Lots of BKBs. BKB on every core for HPGG. 2 of the 4 cores, as of now, declared. You could see a BKB on this Phoenix at some point. I mean, I guess into the Roar. Like, the Roar's probably the thing you're the most scared of, so maybe you don't bother. You know what, the Manta on Yams? I wouldn't mind seeing a BKB on Yams as well. Like, even forget the Roar. There's a lot of control from just the supports. Harry Potter and the Glizzy Goblet lurking in the shadows, revealing themselves a little bit with the axes. Like, MUDBOYS gonna take note of that and back off a bit. Got 2 tier 2 towers up. This is a big wave coming in. Darth Maul is going to say, don't mind if I do. Drawings out on the map from Yams. Ooh, swap stun on a Magnus. That's a good target to start out with. It looks like they won't be able to chase down anything else, but it means now you can move pretty fearlessly on the map, because it's much harder for MUDBOYS to take their fights without their save. Oh, the Astro step away, but 8 is right there with the blink into the Roar. Arena is there, but it's not going to be enough. And now they turn on to Darth Maul. 2 more heroes brought down, and Harry Potter and the Glizzy Goblet, they're going to look to turn this into a tier 2. The Fortify does quite a bit of work slowing this down. Head over to the top lane. Get both of these waves pushing in. So now it's a 3K. This is the biggest lead of the game so far for HPGG.
Radiant's mid tower's coming apart.
Now with these 2 cores dead, looking to
Radiant's mid tower.
clear out at least one of the tier 2 towers. We'll see if they're able to do it before MUDBOYS can contest. Looks like they might not be able to fully commit for it.
Radiant's top tower's in bad shape.
Ooh, swap onto Yams. We're gonna find the Void Spirit again right after the respawn, but able to dodge away. Work. Sitting up alone on the opposite high ground. MUDBOYS are aware, but it looks like phase boots on the Necrophos. I was like, does this guy have boots of travel? I feel like I hadn't noticed that. Ooh, they're gonna get the Seeking Missile and the Control. Spear back. Myth Snow's in the area. Gets 2 heroes, and they're immediately onto the Dazzle as well. Trying to bring down the Supernova, but the Beastmaster dies first. That means it's gonna pop and connects onto both the cores. They bring down Bork as well. Now turning on the Jaeger Knight, chasing forward Yams onto the supports. BKB TP for Jaeger Knight. With the Yule's up, they're going to find Ottoman Empire as well, and it's just like every... Here's how to know which team is going to win the team fight. I've figured out the rule of this game. So if you want to know which team is going to win the team fight, you think about the previous team fight, and whichever team won the previous team fight is going to lose the next team fight. And that's how this game has gone for the last 20 minutes? Yeah. Yeah, but that particular team... Oh! They have the Aegis that Myth Snow looking for the cheeky steal, but ends up getting brought down. The teammate tip for that one. It was a good effort. Alright, this Aegis is going to set up MUDBOYS to be able to consider pushing high ground without much fear. They're going to have a banner as well. Yams immediately up onto the high ground, no fear. Remnant to control Ottoman Empire for a moment. Ziggy G just going to start hitting buildings. Hitting heroes at range. Now jump forward from 8, but again the save is there. But Ziggy G already brought down the first time. Yam's getting controlled up as they initiate onto Bork. These BKBs are doing work for the side of HPGG. But now as the BKBs run out, swap back, but double spear on both the Venge and the Necro. They're going to bring down the Venge. Bork able to escape with the Deathseeker. So that just turns into an Aegis for the Venge? I feel like nobody won that team fight. Like, neither side got what they wanted. MUDBOYS got a meaningful chunk out of this tower. And HPGG got the Aegis. Yes, this is game 1. Yeah, we started just under an hour ago. At least it was the scheduled start. I didn't catch exactly when draft started, but it was pretty on time. Sorry, we are running with a 5-minute delay, so I try to keep an eye on chat and answer questions, but my answers will always be 5 minutes later. Unless it's like between games, then I'll probably type in chat. They get a catch onto Bork. They're going to commit the arena. This should be able to secure it. Jaeger Knight's in the area. It's immediately going to get caught with the Hex, though, and they're going to drop the egg as well. They want to bring down this Bristleback. BKB is there, but the stun still catches. Dark Maul is on top. Can they find Jaeger Knight? Swap away. Big save from Ottoman Empire. That's going to be enough to get Jaeger Knight out of there. Does turn into the last of the tier 2s. Yeah, that is a proper thank you, tip, and high five. Because that was a really nice swap save. They are going to look to use the Necrophos death to go high ground. That banner is going to get immediately torn down. Ult coming out for the gyro doesn't hit much. 8's hunting. But MUDBOYS retreating. Even with the hero advantage, they know a lot of their team fight is on cooldown. They will have the arena soon. That cooldown does end up outpacing the Phoenix by a decent chunk. Jaeger Knight is seeing Gex. Gex gets the Icarus dive away. Wind Waker for Darth Maul, so another little save component for these team fights to keep an eye out for. Refresher for Beastmaster. So 2 Primal Roars available. I feel like, do we see any... We have the Scotty finish. Yeah, there's the Lincolns getting built now. Like, Yams has been really the victim of some of the most recent Primal Roars. But there's a new one, and it's going to be 8's. They do have the save, though. Or, sorry, not 8's. 8's is the one dishing out the Primal Roars. Now it's going to need a save as the rest of MUDBOYS connect in. BKB is out for ZG. The spear catches 2. There's so many heroes in such a tiny space. They end up finding 2 of them. And get some vision down, but very nice response to the jump from 8's. MUDBOYS finding 2 more heroes, and now still a while before there's another Aegis available, but they can potentially start to look high ground. Yam's hunting alone over here, the Void Spirit. Love to find another kill on Bork. Is going to get scouted out by Ottoman Empire, who's on point with the Wave of Terror. Dodges the stun. Darth Mauled up into the high ground with the arena. It's just going to be the Vengeful Spirit inside the arena, but it looks like they'll be able to bring down Ottoman Empire. Rocket out for Harass. Going to give them some space alongside the heroes that are on the ground to pick up the first of the tier 3s, I believe. Yeah, they didn't finish off that one. That tier 3 will go down. Not a lot that HPGG can do about it with the heroes they're missing. Now the Yules, but nice BKB timing from Jaeger Knight. BKB gets used the other way. ZG does not have the BKB available, already committed. And there's no Aegis or anything here either. ZG's getting brought super low. Is it just the Blade Mail coming out? Like, I couldn't even tell what was damaging ZG there. Nice Aether Remnant to give them some space. Magnus might be the sacrificial lamb here. Oh, the green goo makes its triumphant return, but so does Yams jumping back in, but they get the sight. Now Yams going to be in trouble, roared up. Able to get the Manta, dissimulate away, Astral Step as well. Now they're turning on to ZG, but the BKB's back up, and the arena is as well. Turning on Jaeger Knight Egg on the side of the arena. Bork going to be in trouble now. The only one left in the hot zone. The Snow gets caught up in the egg pop as well. Swap away from Ottoman Empire, but Vengeful Spirit's now going to be the one that gets brought down. Miss Snow ends up going down as well. 8's back onto Darth Maul, who tries to chase forward, but it ends up being the Mars that goes down there. And now it's just going to be a brawl. I mean, ZG has to be careful. There's a lot of damage here. 4 staff away, thanks to the help of Gex, but still need some space. They're getting good slows. That was a ton of slow, actually. Blink forward from 8's, though, trying to find ZG. Gex is there again, though. Silver Edge as well, and now 8's is going to be the one in a bit of trouble. Gex Icarus dive up to the high ground, TP away, no way to cancel. So wow, I mean, it is a 3 for 3, which is a good fight for HPGG, just because they're behind, but also because it's 2 supports for 2 cores. So that'll... Yeah, a little bit, kind of just a plateau. I mean, it's still... The win probability has... I'm surprised it got up to 76% in that area. Because this game has really always felt like it could go either way. 8 is going to find Gex with the Primal Roar. This is one fried chicken. Gex goes down. Give HPGG a little more confidence, and 8's with an amplified damage. BKB, refresh, roar onto the gyrocopter. There's so much damage coming out of the drums as well. Bork making the movement in, looking to help finish this off, but the BKBs are going to be running out for HPGG. Now they're both getting hexed up by the Dazzle, who's in the ult, and now the arena catches 8's. Bork trying to escape, the Rocket Barrage pursuing. Sorry, the homing missile. Now the Scythe out onto Yams, but able to resist enough of the damage. Shallow Grave is there as well. And now the stun onto Bork, trying to finish off this Necrophos, but there's so much sustain. Miss Snow ends up going down instead, and now finally Bork is brought down. That is a crazy well-played fight by MUDBOYS. Down a hero, too. I mean, it wasn't like it was a full 4v5. Jaeger Knight wasn't able to connect to that fight. Basically a 4v4. But missing, like, a huge combo piece for their team fights. Now, this should be some high ground for the side of MUDBOYS. Find their second tier 3 tower. Yams wants to find Ottoman Empire in under the tier 4s. Darth Maul spears into the Ancient. Jaeger Knight coming in, but it's not going to be in time. Vengeful Spirit goes down. Now it's only Jaeger Knight left to defend. And just the flat cannon shots are going to be scary. Jaeger Knight does pop the BKB, the Blade Mail. Zichi is hurting himself so much on the Blade Mail. They do get the Shallow Grave off. Jump away, respecting the buyback from Ottoman Empire. Miss Snow respawning as well. So MUDBOYS will take their second set of barracks and retreat away. We have chance of Roshan respawn. I think this is still, like, casters don't get to see the real time anymore. You can kind of see it from this. It looks like it's going to be a long one. Because it's got to get there. Scan is going to identify that they're in the area of Roche. They'll probably tell them that it's not being taken quite yet. Yeah, it's 8. To answer Ryan's Games question, it is indeed 8888888888888. And I will again reiterate, this is not 8888888, this is Bork, who is making me unhappy. The Roche has spawned. I didn't pay enough attention to know if that timer was helpful to casters at all. This is third Roche. It has... I heard about this recently, that, like, the Aghanim Scepter on Roche is just gone. Which is maybe a good thing. But there is a Refresher Shard, which is pretty nice for a few of these heroes. Looks like this will be an uncontested Roche for MUDBOYS. HPGG just taking some space out on the map. You have a Heart on Bork, so pretty tanky. They're able to get to this Ags. Be quite a bit of damage from that as well. The damage scaling off of regen. Bork is going to get seen on that wave. Looks like MUDBOYS want to hunt them down. I don't know if they're going to find them, though. Maybe just bringing in... Yeah, I think just bringing in this lane to get the last set of racks. Try to get Mega Creeps with this Aegis. a refresher on the Mars, refresher shard on the Phoenix. So they do have double arena, double egg on top of the Aegis for this team fight. So this is... Oh, HPGG got to play this fight perfectly. This is not going to be easy. Yams will jump in right away. Once again, Harpoon onto the Bristle. Kind of just playing distraction game while Ziggy G takes down the last of the tier 3 towers. HPGG going to TP over. They have the Halberd out onto the Gyrocopter. Homing Missile going to go out towards Jaeger Knight. Jump in, double BKBs. There's the first of the eggs. 8's getting lots of damage taken up. Refreshes, but not able to get anything else off. Meanwhile, Ziggy G tearing into everybody else and kept alive by the Dazzle, and this one is looking like trouble for HPGG. 3 heroes already dead. Bork trying to survive, but there's the second arena with the refresher. Jaeger Knight nowhere to escape to. Bork now the last target remaining. The Necrophos is going to get brought down. One last Scythe out of spite, but it's not enough to bring down Magnus. Only 2 buybacks available for the side of HPGG. They are going to use them, but how do you defend 2v5 in this kind of situation? The rest of their buybacks are already on cooldown. Harpoon back onto Bork. Just trying to make a little bit of space, but there's almost enough damage, but not enough damage to bring down Ziggy G. Even the once, they both get brought down, and that will be the game. One last fortify to the GG is called. That does it for game 1. MUDBOYS in an absolute back-and-forth brawl end up, I think right around the time where I was saying whoever won the last fight will lose the next one. I think that was around the time where MUDBOYS kind of didn't lose another fight for the rest of the game after that. So, maybe a little bit of caster's cursing going on. Never something we want to see happen, but yeah, I mean, really good performance, honestly, by both teams. Again, like, that was... It was really like, where is the tipping point gonna be? I feel like the win probability does a good job of showing how back and forth this was, compared to, like, how much the early net worth leads just get dwarfed by the final net worth lead in XP. Yeah, really good stuff. MVP, Phoenix. Not even support of the game. Gex had a ton of farm on this Phoenix. 9-2 and 31. By my money, best KDA. I mean, the 2 deaths to the 4 deaths, I think, still beats out Darth Maul. Yeah, stellar performance from the Phoenix. I liked how the egg was, like, always there with the arena. Even if it wasn't, like, perfect position egg, it was just like, this is guaranteed. Like, I think there was a single time that I saw the egg get cracked. It was just, the supernovas were so on point from it. So that's my MVP. But yeah, really good performance across the board. Like, HPGG, I feel like you still feel pretty confident. Maybe you just want to adjust, like, this Tricore. I think maybe looking for a proper carry might have done something good, because that was also, like, something that ends up pushing MUDBOYS over the edge, is that they have this Gyrocopter as, like, the inevitability factor. Yeah, that does it for game 1. We'll have game 2 for you shortly. We'll be right back with that in a moment. Alright, we are back for game number 2 between MUDBOYS and Harry Potter and the Glizzy Goblet. MUDBOYS took game number 1, and it was very back and forth for quite a while, eventually reaching the tipping point. Tipping in their favor. Harry Potter and the Glizzy Goblet now 1 game away from being eliminated from WLDL 2025.
5 seconds.
A lower bracket of the Quas division.
Radiance ban.
So curious what they're going to bust out here at the edge of elimination. Got the Void Spirit band out. Made it through for first pick last time around. Similar bands to start things out for MUDBOYS. Got the Viper Huskar.
5 seconds. Radiance ban.
See if we get just the full suite of Yams bands this time, because they stick with the Morphling
10
band.
seconds to go. Radiance ban.
Sniper band out again as well.
10 seconds to go. 5 seconds.
There's been negotiations going on. The Dark Willow does go through. Okay, we'll see if HPGG hold up their end of the the bands that they discussed before the game. I will say, as a league admin, I'm okay with this, because we're all having fun here, and you know, whatever the captains want to agree to, that is, it would, like, with some exception, but generally whatever the captains want to agree to, that is fair game. And so
Dyer's pick.
they agree to exchange the Dark Willow for the... Are they gonna first pick? Yeah, these heroes were banned out last series. They agreed to not ban them this last match. Don't ban them this match. That is what we get.
10 seconds to go.
The Dazzle also getting taken out. Magnus' Dazzle was
5
a
seconds.
critical part of how Game 1 went for
Dyer's
MUDBOYS.
ban.
Good camaraderie between these teams. This exchanging of heroes happening in the draft.
10 seconds to go. Radiance ban.
AA does get banned out again, along with the Tidehunter. And Bork's Necrophos also getting banned out. So we should see some pretty different drafts in Game 2.
10 seconds to go. 5 seconds. Dyer's pick.
Crystal Maiden.
Dyer's
Crystal Maiden gets picked up by MUDBOYS. HPGG go back to their Beastmaster. Those are words. Letters, and then words. It was the letters that I really had trouble with. And the Jakiro. This is a hero that I think has been one of the most contested. I think it's the most picked. Yes. The most picked by quite a bit. 71, next most being Vengeful Spirits 55. Not quite the most contested. Lifestealer has been picked 52 times and banned 86. 138 out of the, like, 180, maybe, something games at this point. Yeah, it's hotly contested, and I got banned out in game 1 here. We'll see if it gets through this time around.
Radiant's pick.
Crystal Maiden, I imagine, will be for Magnus. Dawnbreaker, I imagine, will be for Darth Maul. Could see a support Dawnbreaker, but you don't see much of that anymore. The Dawnbreaker also tells us the Wraith King is most likely a carry. We have been seeing a decent amount of like offlane Wraith King lately.
5 seconds.
See, so probably just going to pick up their other support here, or some other hero that tells us that the Dawnbreaker is the support. But maybe they'll draft this in a way that leaves some flexibility open.
Dyer's pick.
Pick up the Invoker, so that could be their other support. I kind of lean towards it being a support, because otherwise they're saving a support for overall last pick. Has MUDBOYS played an Invoker before?
Dyer's ban.
No, this is probably a Yams Invoker. Sand King is their response. They haven't played the Invoker, at least not this year. I gotta check Yam's profile real quick, because it feels kind of familiar.
10 seconds to go.
That
5 seconds.
Yams might have Invoker in their upper, like, heroes on... No, maybe I'm thinking of something else, or someone else.
Radiant's ban.
How many Invoker games? 1 in 2017. Okay, this is not a mid Invoker. This is a support Invoker. If it's a mid Invoker, I'm gonna be a little sus. Because Yams literally has... I just went through the Dota buff. Yams literally has 1 Invoker pub game in 2017. Silencer gets banned out. Kind of, I guess you don't have a spot for it in your draft. MUDBOYS won game 1, Sack Smash. It's in the... I'll type this in chat for you so you don't have to wait.
Radiant's ban.
All right. So I think...
10 seconds to go.
What do I think? I think MUDBOYS need a mid.
5 seconds. Dyer's ban.
My playset is so bad. It's funny. Dragon Knight Nature's... Yeah, I think HPGG... I mean, maybe Eights is playing the Beastmaster carry again, but I feel like even if you want to put the Beastmaster in the safe lane, especially Sand King kind of falling into that
10 seconds to
genre of, like, AoE magic damage,
Dyer's
I feel like you really just want a proper carry. They think that the Invoker's mid. And just again, from looking at Yams' Dota buff, I don't think the Invoker's mid. So I think these support bans are a little bit of a miss here.
10 seconds to go. 5 seconds.
The carry pool is much more open. You could... I don't think you can take Dusa, because I think MUDBOYS still have space in their draft for an anti-mage. But you could take a Drow. Perfectly fine with the Drow here. There's really no jump. Dawnbreaker has some jump. But I don't think you're too worried about a Dawnbreaker if you're a Drow Ranger.
Radiant's pick.
Quap, so they'll get some jump, which means it will be a carry Beastmaster again, presumably. Yeah, I was kind of hoping mid Sand King off Beastmaster pick a carry.
10
But this
seconds
makes
to
sense,
go.
especially based on us just seeing a carry Beastmaster.
Time for some
Pudge.
ethos.
Mid Pudge? Yeah, Yams does play Pudge. Ooh, this is exciting. We don't get to see the Yams Pudge very much. This is going to be fun. Let's see. Yeah, Bork on the Queen of Pain. Yeah, it looks like lanes are going to be the same. Oh, it's... Darth Maul said the guy who plays it is so bad. I should have realized. I mean, maybe they're position swapping here. I think Gex has played a little bit of offlane for MUDBOYS. So maybe this is a Horn Invoker. I wouldn't put it past him to be doing something weird like playing an offlane Invoker, though. Yeah, let's see. Hats draft. The hats are all very good. I like this Jakira set a lot. It's like the better version of his base set. There's a lot of good stuff across the board. Nothing super jumping out at me. Magnus' CM with the Arcana is great. Pudge is good. Little mismatchy colors. Miss Snow's Dark Willow is hiding back there, but it is good. I think she has the space wings. We'll get a better look at it here. I wouldn't be surprised if the Dark Willow is the featured one. Oh, no. Yeah, that is the wings from the space set with the, like, jetpack. That's a fun combo stuff. I'm going to give it to HPGG for the hats draft. As for the actual draft, I have similar concerns. I've already talked about it. I'm concerned about this carry Beastmaster. It was quite good last game, but it's not even that it fell off. It was just they didn't have a carry.
By many names,
That's
but
the
my
spirit.
true name of power is Carl.
Wow, we got the Carl RNG. Oh no, or is that there's the level 30 Invoker? That's not RNG. That's the guy just has the voice line. The level 30 voice line is Carl.
30 seconds to showtime.
Yeah, I'm excited for this. So yeah, this guy plays their Invoker. We get full on each other's high grounds. HPGG is excited to have their Dark Willow in what could be, hopefully not, but could be their final game of WLDL 2025. Oh, the hook! We kind of missed it, but we kind of saved it. Nice stun, though, from the Burrow Strike. Yams is actually the one getting low. It's going to be First Blood for Ottoman Empire. Jaeger Knight is going to go down. They find Magnus as well, though, and now Ziggy G in a bit of trouble. Everybody caught up in the brambles. Perhaps immediately regretting allowing Miss Snow to have the Dark Willow. But, I mean, lots of control around the board. And, yeah, punishing that hook from Yams. I mean, this is going to be a great start for Bork. Oh, or is Yams playing this offlane and Darth Maul, or is Darth Maul just covering mid? No, yeah, Yams is up. Wow. I have never seen Yams not be mid. So it is a mid Invoker. I fully assumed the Invoker was going somewhere weird, and Yams would be mid as always. That's cool. New tech from MUDBOYS. Let's see, what other... These supports are going to trade a lot. Easily can kill each other. They catch each other in the wrong position. And with the extra stun from both of the cores, definitely can secure kills down here. So I expect to see a few heroes dying down here. Up top, I mean, it's a Pudge. Is this Yams position 4 Pudge? It is! That's even more crazy. It was just like, oh, it must be offlane Pudge. No, this is Yams support. Never thought I would see it. Yeah, Gex taking over off lane with the Dawnbreaker. These are two very... Oh. These are two very strong laners, but honestly, so are the Pudge and Dawnbreaker, so... Lane's definitely prioritized, kind of across the board. I feel like the weakest laner here is we get a Burrow Strike onto the Wraith King, but Jaeger Knight gets caught up, and it's just both cores dead. Ziggy gonna look for the revenge kill, but does pop. Only the support's left standing in the bot lane. But yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like the weakest laner here is potentially the Invoker, but even he's like a good Invoker knows how to lane on Invoker. Support's fighting for control of the Lotus Pool. It looks like Yams. Ottoman Empire is going to try to contest it. Gex is going to go help out. Now Ottoman Empire might be in a little bit of trouble, but getting a little caught up on each other, but there's the hook from Yams. Finish off the Jakiro. Eats wants to get some revenge here, and has the slow from the boar coming, the roots from the hawk. Off-roll mid-duel. I mean, this guy's a level 30 Invoker. I'm not fully convinced that this is off-roll for Darth Maul. I think the off-roll is more Yams playing position 4. Gonna get a Curse Crown out onto Ziggy G, who delivers it right to the Crystal Maiden. Magnus may be getting a little caught up in some unfortunate pathing there. But it looks like they'll be able to walk that one off. Oh, the hook from Yams through all the creeps, finds the Jakiro, and is going to bring down Ottoman Empire again. It looks like Yams maybe going to trade. No, the Starbreaker's perfectly timed from Gex, although now Gex is going to be the one getting chased down by 8 axes. Yams not quite dodging them, but not quite enough damage. The boar, whoa, that would have been an insane hook. I mean, you would have been guaranteeing your death, but maybe secure. Like, I don't even know if Yams dies there if he hits that hook. Oh man. Let's see. How are our last hits going? Gex. Oh, you can click on portraits there. That's cool. I hadn't done that before. Gex the one suffering the most in the last hit department, but it's pretty even across the board. Bork on a slight lead above Darth Maul. Pretty dang even there. Oh, I'm looking in the wrong... Oh, that was Sunstrike up top. That with the hook? I think that was with the hook. The summary. Hook. It was with the help of a hook. Yeah. That went directly through that Jakiro's model. Oh, the mid lane trade. On my team, we call that the Grape Special, because Grapes is our mid laner, and this happens a lot. Where both mid laners end up dead. Was that... I would say was that they both got their 6, which, yes, but the 6 is less important on Invoker. But it's Meteor, Deafening Blast, and Sonic Wave. They both just yelled at each other, and they died.
Mid-tower's coming apart.
Magnus covering the lane for now. Has to be a little bit careful as Bork respawns. Gex a little low up top as well. Yams looking for a crazy angle, and Magnus... That's the second game in a row Magnus goes mid and secures a haste rune from the 6-minute rune. That's crazy that that happened in both games. That helps secure a kill for Yams on Jakiro once again. Jakiro experiencing what I usually experience when I'm stuck laning against a support Pudge. Or just laning against a Pudge in general, honestly. First crown out onto Ziggy G, but we'll be able to safely sit under tower. Magnus going to look to contest the Sand King's farm a little bit, who's clearing out the whole camp. Going to be able to bounce away to safety. Stun up onto Gex in the top lane. Hook nearly connecting again. See, I mean, I would have expected Bork to be the one a little favored off of that mid-trade, but now hitting some jungle camps. Still leading the Invoker by a decent amount in last hit department. Switch over to net worth. They're dead even. They're like, could not be more even. Gex falling low again. One more set of axes would do it, but still on cooldown for now. Yam's still just like standing their ground. Now we're gonna get turned around on. Sunstrike coming out. Oh, almost catches 8th. Down bot. There's so much control in this lane. Does not have a point for the Wraith King ult. Or no, has 5 points leveled, so he's going to be able to escape and pop the ult. Yep, and we'll get back up. Nicely played by Ziggy G. Knows what they're doing with this Wraith King. Pretty high level on it. Not quite level 30, but the purple one. Like 25 plus. Oh, up top. And in mid. No, just up top. But the mid laner making a rotation up top. Tons of kills happening in this game. We are seeing some of them on our screens. The trade of, I was going to say the offlaners, but it's the trade of the top laners. With the rotation by Bork. Ziggy G going for the armlet first, going for the high damage, more fighty build. Up top, Yam's taking some heat. But Dark Maul's going to make the rotation over, gets the cold snap on 8th, but does get bonked by the Hawk. And oh, the axe is clearing the way for the boar, but the boar gets brought down by the tower.
Radiant's mid tower's getting banged up.
And it's nearly, Yam's going to go for a hook here. This guy's crazy.
Radiant's mid tower could use a hand.
Not finding much for the moment. We'll try to keep an eye on that. Ooh, stun up. Does get into the Shadow Realm before it connects. Brambles down. Ziggy G able to avoid most of them into the root. The ult is well out for Magnus, so they bring down Miss Snow. They're going to turn on to Gex with the Macropyre. Hook unfortunately hits a creep, but Gex still looking to be able to survive. Magnus making a rotation up here. Now Gex re-engaging with the Solar Guardian on absolutely no health. 8 is there with the rotation. Brings down 1, looking for more. Axes fly out. It's going to be a triple kill for Bork off of a perfectly timed rotation on the Queen of Pain. That evens up our kills 9-9 and sends HPGG into the biggest, I mean, 2K net worth, not huge, but biggest net worth lead of the game so far. Mostly in the hands of Bork, who did pick up that triple kill. It's going to look to turn that pressure back over towards the mid lane. Bought the damage out onto Darth Maul. Got the bondage facet. I think has been the popular one as of late. Yam's in a little bit of trouble as they're still sitting with a few heroes up top. Miss Snow making the way up here as well.
Dire's bottom tower's getting the business.
This was, I don't think this was super stacked. Nice hook again by Yams. Shadow Realm happens, but still just taking so much rot damage because it's still in the Dismember. 6 Flesh Heap stacks for Pudge. Pretty good start to the game. 12 minutes, 6 stacks. Solid. There's just so many kills. Like, they've gone both ways. Eager Knight doing some shenanigans.
Radiant's bottom tower ain't a pretty sight right now.
Oh, but they are not a fan of the Eager Knight shenanigans.
Radiant's bottom tower's
They are going to bring both of their supports down, and they get the dust. The burrow strike down to the low ground, the hook back to the high ground. Who else going to be dropped? Maybe a little unnecessary. Crystal Nova and Solar Guardian getting dropped on top of the Sand King, making absolutely sure that that bug is dead.
This'll come in handy.
Let's see. Armlet just about finished for Ziggy G. Not off to the best start, but like right there with everybody. Yam's just fully walking under the tower. Does not quite find a hook. Instead finds a roar. And Bork going to be making the rotation over as well. They are going to look to punish the Pudge right on the edge. Dismember heals them to keep Yams alive for a while. But not for long enough.
Dyer's mid tower.
Meanwhile,
Dire weren't partial to that.
Darth Maul looking to push the tower. Brings down Miss Snow in the process.
Trouble brewing at Radiant's bottom tower.
Midas Atos. This feels like really good timing from Darth Maul, who is right up at the top of the net worth. Bots Kaya for Bork.
The Dire might want to mine their top tower.
Glimmercape being worked on by Otterman. Bloodstone being worked on by Jaeger Knight. Somebody's getting dismembered. It's Eights. Tries to turn with some axes, but the cold snap is brutal, and Darth Maul finishes off the Beastmaster.
Dyer's
Ooh,
mid
Bork
tower's
looking to steal a Wisdom Shrine, but Gex right on top of it, already there. Meanwhile, Ottoman Empire securing theirs. Oh, that hook just off the mark. Is that just like the missing trees? They were able to see that in the daytime? Maybe they knew Bork was farming that camp, just based on their map movements. I don't know. Jaeger Knight getting some deep farming in here, interfering with what Ziggy G would like to farm. Part of how you still have this slight net worth discrepancy there. Armlet into the Radiance is the plan for Ziggy G. I wouldn't mind an earlier blink on the Wraith King. Maybe you'll have it on your Pudge, but currently going for the Shard just to get the, essentially the old facet back.
tower's coming apart. The Dire might want to mine their top tower. Dyer's got one last top tower.
Smoke up for Yams. It looks like they're considering
Radiant's mid
the
tower's
Twin
coming apart.
Gate, but maybe reconsidering. Now going to TP down to the tower. Ooh, this is going to be good timing, because they're looking to make a gank on Ziggy G. HPGG is. Jaeger Knight setting it up. Burrow Strike connecting. We'll have the follow-up. Here comes the Solar Guardian from Gex, and Yams is right there too. Big Sonic Wave onto 3, but the Dismember's there onto Jaeger Knight. So it ends up being 2 dead before the Ziggy G ult goes off, and they find a third. The big crit from Ziggy G onto 8. And that's why you don't gank a Wraith King. Because they did kill the Wraith King. Like, they made a move to go kill the enemy carry, and they killed the enemy carry. The problem is, they only killed him once. And he's the hero that you have to kill more than once. And especially, I mean, like, Yams was just on top of it with that TP. Either just getting a read for it, or just wanted to be in the area anyway. But then especially with the Solar Guardian.
Dyer just couldn't save
Like, you are never going to kill Ziggy G twice before you get Solar Guardian.
Dyer's bottom tower.
unless you just saw the Solar Guardian get cast. Like, you're positive that it's on cooldown. Mage Slayer on Dawnbreaker is fun. Applies with the Starbreaker. So that's a nice little way to get the AoE out. They'll use that one team fight to pick up a Tormentor. Goes the way of Magnus, so we'll have the Crystal Clone ability. Rotating top. Oh, they see 8's farming this wave. They've got a good read on this. 8's is going to walk right into it. Who gets the stun off first? It is the Roar that connects first. They know that he doesn't have the ult, so they might be able to bring down Ziggy G first, but no, they have the damage. They kill off 8888. Has finished the Ags, but now is not getting the timing you want out of it. MUDBOYS start to build. Not a huge lead, but one of their biggest lead of the Yam's doing some scouting, getting a little scouted himself, but it looks like... Oh no, Bork is going to go for this. Has the slow, just keeping at a distance. There's the hook. Here comes the Solar Guardian. The Sunstrike's there as well. Bork's going to be in trouble, but a nice stun into the Macropyre. They do still finish off Bork. The Terrorize is there, forcing them to retreat through the Macropyre. It's a nice little combo. Rooted in place forever is Jaeger Knight. And that stops the Epicenter from dealing more, and that's crazy that they end up not losing anybody on the side of MUDBOYS. Gex is very on top of these Solar Guardians. Playing this very well.
Regeneration.
Oh, they looked at Catchment Snow, but the Tornado is just off the mark. And so they will retreat. Not find the cheeky little gank they were looking for. Grouped up around the mid tower. HPGG looking to defend. Yam's clearing out some creeps. They do have the Bloodstone done on Jaeger Knight, looking for the Blink Dagger next. Glimmer Cape still being worked on by Miss Snow. Ag's done already on Darth Maul. They don't have the greatest setup for the Cataclysm. This is an Agent of Galeron Invoker, so the Ags will be the Cataclysm. Their setup isn't amazing for it. They have a lot of single target lockdown, so if you just manage to single target lockdown on like 4 different targets, then you can get a sick Cataclysm off. And like obviously it plays well no matter what. But you don't have a Ravage, you don't have a Chronosphere that you're comboing this Cataclysm with. They do find... Where did that guy die? Oh, it was here. Jaeger Knight and Miss Snow find Gims.
You know the drill.
Anything exciting there?
Dire's top tower's getting...
Oh, Bork was involved. Smoke going on... Currently just the Jakiro. Oh, Jaeger Knight finding Ziggy G, or maybe Ziggy G finding Jaeger Knight. But they're going to get the control, they're going to hold Jaeger Knight down, and finish that off. They do find a kill on Gex, meanwhile. That is a good hero to gank. Dawnbreaker is kind of always who you want to start on, because then there's no threat of the Solar Guardian connecting onto whoever you are going onto. Outer Empire falls low, but survives. Big stuns out. Here's the Solar Guardian from the buyback from Gex. They finish off Miss Snow. They're going to try to chase down 8's. The Sunstrike is perfectly placed by Darth Maul. Finishes off the kill on 8888. Another huge Ice Blast, or Ice Path into Glimmer Cape. Oh, but the vision is there. The Tornado to cancel the TP, and Ottoman Empire will get brought down. So in the end, 4 dead on HPGG. MUDBOYS, they only lose Gex, who buys back. So end up with all 5 heroes standing. They're going to look to get some early pressure out onto a tier 2 tower. That will be met with the fortification. Can I get a team fight recap? No? Okay. Maybe it gave me one when it thought it was over and then 2 more people died. I don't know. Jaeger Knight finding a stun onto Yams. Gonna chain that into the roar, but the tornado, the save for now, but it looks like the Pudge will still get brought down. Small return kill in trade for their tier 2 tower. HPGG still finding something. Jaeger Knight close to being able to find cancel on the TV. Ziggy G getting a little caught in no man's land, farming up on the Dire Triangle. Will die the once. Now, where's the response? Oh, Jaeger Knight gets blown up from the low ground by Darth Maul. They are getting closer to bringing down Ziggy G the once because the epicenter did still go off. They got the Sonic Wave out as well. They're trying to get Ziggy G to safety, but the Solar Guardian is not in time. I think it must have just come off cooldown. So they do manage to find the kills on the Wraith King twice. Very big pickup for HPGG. They're going to try to chase down Gex as well here, too, who does not have a TP available. I think this Dawnbreaker should be able to go down as long as they position correctly. It looks like they're all staying just out of reach. Yams is finding Miss Snow somewhere else, though. And they're going to get the ult. No way. They're going to turn this around into a kill on Bork. Gex is going to live here? Are you kidding me? They just didn't have enough damage. And the rest of MUDBOYS show up. The hook is there from Yams. They find the Jakiro. The roar is back up for 8, trying to bring down the Invoker, but it's going to run out. They do still have the AoE damage from the Drums of Slum. So Darth Maul gets brought down, but now Jaeger Knight is shown back up. Everybody else is already dead. The hook right back in the Starbreaker to stun up Jaeger Knight and finish off. Now, I mean, that's like... I would argue, like, this is going to get split into 2 team fights here. It's like, Jaeger Knight died in both of them. That's so tough. Like, this game has, like, there's still been big kills from HPGG, but this is definitely, like, nobody had a 9k net worth lead at this point in the game at all in Game 1. MUDBOYS are definitely much more in control of Game 2 here. Yams finds another hook on the Jakiro. They are going to be able to get Ottoman Empire out of here. And now with the Primal Roar, controlling Yams, trying to finish off the Pudge. They do the Tornado into the Cataclysm, though. It's at least enough for Miss No BKB, but a big crit for Ziggy G, and Magnus up on the high ground. There's no way to stop this Crystal Maiden, except 8's jumping, Bork, once again, messing with me. Bork jumping in with the Sonic Wave for the cancel, but it's not before 8's goes down. $30-16, 10k net worth lead for MUDBOYS, looking to put an end to the WLDL 2025 season for Harry Potter and the Glizzy Goblet. ZG is going to find Jaeger Knight, just casually farming some frogs, and Burst Strike away. Never punished. Never punished. Bork might be getting punished.
Guess what's happening to
Nope, never punished. Just a little bit of ships in the night action. Though some of these ships look more like attack submarines, and Yams is gonna find hey, Ottoman Empire has died 6 times. I'm trying to put together in my head, were all 6 of those the result of a meat hook? Because it's close. I don't know if Pudge got the last hit on all of them, but I think Pudge got the first hit on a lot of them. Ottoman Empire has already respawned, so it is still 5v5 as MUDBOYS look to start pushing some high ground. They could go get an Aegis, but it looks like they want to just kind of test themselves out. I mean, they've got the built-in Aegis, essentially, with the Wraith King ult. Darth Maul is not with them. Darth Maul is getting gone on, but they have the Solar Guardian from Gex. It's not going to be enough, though. They have the damage with the Primal Roar. Gex looking to try to get a revenge kill, but escaping into the Glimmer Cave is Miss Snow. Gex now going to turn back to Eights, whose BKB is running out, but the Drums of Slom damage is huge, and now Bork is in as well. The Starbreaker will help for the moment, but there's just too much control. When HPGG find a single target with this lineup, they can always bring them down. And in that case, they got a second target as well, with Gex trying to come in for the save, and it was close, but it was not enough. And now Ziggy G gonna get found. Does still have the Reincarnate, but there's no Solar Guardian. There is a hook, though. So the save is still available in some form, not quite the Solar Guardian, but the hook away gets Ziggy G completely out of trouble. You finally have a Blink Dagger on Jaeger Knight, working on a Pipe of Insight. So much better initiation for the Sand King now. Blink Dagger on the Beastmaster as well. So the Blink initiation, obviously the built-in Blink for the Queen of Pain. The Queen of Pain. There we go. You gotta be careful. Like, the vision, if Harry Potter and the Glizzy Goblet can control their vision well, like right now they have, it's mostly on their side. If they can get some deep vision out, like, that's what's going to set them up to be able to win these fights. Because that's what's going to get their Blink initiation in, what's going to get their, like, pick-off going, and how they can win these fights. Let's see, BKB finished for Gex. I think we saw that in the last fight, yeah. BKB nearly done for Ziggy G, who also has Radiance and S and Y. Very big Wraith King. But Borg is keeping up. Like, this 9k net worth lead, like, it's a lot of it's like the off-lane difference and like the carry difference. Yeah, Octarine Core done on the Queen of Pain, working on an Ags, which he almost has. Eights gets found by, looks like a smoke gank kind of deal. Didn't talk about it too much because there's a lot of invoker spells to consider, but the Alacrity on the Wraith King is quite nice. I mean, his crit is on a cooldown, so it's not like you're gonna get a bunch of crits in a row, but he still does big damage even when he's not critting, so that attack speed definitely goes a long way for him. Let's see, what else we got for items? Gleipnir, Octarine for Darth Maul. You look at Dawnbreaker already. Working on an Ags. What is Yams eating? Yams was eating a creep. Or maybe a Bork? I think Yams was eating a Bork. But Bork is pretty durable. Into the Roche Pit for MUDBOYS. Yeah, there's... Oh no, that was just the Solar Crest. Oh no, there is Alacrity now. Yeah, Alacrity, you're getting the armor reduction from the Forged Spirits. Invoker, pretty good ally for Roche taking. They are going to take the Aegis on Wraith King. We often see the Aegis given to a different core, even when you have carry Wraith King. Just because he already has the built-in one. But this is going to be a very hard to kill Wraith King. They're looking for Sand King in this Sandstorm. They do finally get the dust out, but able to blink away. Will be okay. MUDBOYS still at just over a kill per minute in this game. And HPGG not that far behind in the kill department. So I guess getting closer to, like, 2-1. Oh, they get big control on Jaeger Knight as they start to siege the high ground, but able to get the Force Staff away, but still taking out to the damage. It's going to be the first death on Wraith King, but you got to kill this guy quite a few times. And 8! Oh no, looking for the angle on the backline, but it's the one who gets found. And those two cores dead. This is going to be pretty free reign for MUDBOYS. No buybacks available either. This is very scary territory for Harry Potter and the Glizzy Goblet. Especially with this Aegis, there's absolutely nothing to fear for Ziggy G. And this is going to be a set of racks. Hook not quite connecting. They try to pull somebody else for the low ground. They're just showing Ziggy G on the high ground. Now they're going to step up with more. Still have a little bit of time, but they actually do manage to burn out the proper Aegis. 72 seconds till next respawn. So this is most likely the last life. We're going to get a buyback from Miss Snow, who got brought down by Darth Mauld. And it looks like that buyback will be respected. They'll begin to retreat, TP away. And now Bork, looking for a kill in the chase, is going to get found. Sonic Wave is out, but the CM ult is able to connect. Jaeger Knight in now. Cataclysm coming out, though, blows up the Sand King. Bork still trying to escape, trying to bring down Yams. Big roar onto 8's through the onto Ziggy G through the BKB. 8's name covering up everybody else's. Now getting controlled up. They do manage to bring down Ziggy G before it comes off cooldown with the Reincarnate, but now Bork goes down. All the buybacks getting used. HPGG trying to come out on top of this fight. But with all of the buybacks getting spent, the net worth lead, it's just growing for MUDBOYS. And they get a big kill in Ziggy G, but it costs them so much. It's really a full team wipe when it comes down to it. It's looking really tough for HPGG. And now there's certainly the win condition for the side of MUDBOYS. No buybacks available currently. Two heroes have it off cooldown, but don't have the gold for it at the moment. HPGG still not afraid to get out on the map. 8's looking to greet Yams. Yams looking to return the favor. But they both manage to blink away from each other as there is a blink finished on the Pudge. Still looking for this Beastmaster. Nice blink away again. Hook is only going to find... I think that was a boar. HPGG thinking about maintaining this high ground. They had an arcane rune on Beastmaster. They are going to find Ziggy G up here, who does have the Reincarnate back up. BKB going to get used. Here comes Gex in with the Solar Guardian. Yams jumping in as well, but getting controlled up by Ottoman Empire. Fights happening on opposite sides of this high ground. Sonic Wave comes in, keeps 8's alive a little bit longer. Focus on this part of the fight. 8's getting chased down. Ziggy G falling a bit low. Dagon out from Bork, but now they turn on the Queen of Pain. They have the control. Starbreaker connects, holding Bork in place, able to blink away though. And somehow it's only Ottoman Empire that dies here. The support's still fighting over in the back lines. Miss Snow getting controlled up, brought down. Jaeger Knight still lurking. Epicenter used. Ziggy G is so low. Jaeger Knight gets the Bro Strike away. Does still have Reincarnate on Ziggy G. And so looking to heal back up a bit. So now both supports dead, and they know they don't have buybacks available. So MUDBOYS can threaten the high ground here. They still have their Reincarnate on Ziggy G as well. So I think they're looking at this. Oh, this could be a huge catch. But they get the interrupt from Jaeger Knight, but now caught by the tornado. Is 8's gonna tick down? They do. Now Jaeger Knight controlled as well. Bork jumping in, but it's Bork against the world. 7 seconds until any supports respawn. Just trying to bring down Yams at least. But the hook back, Bork is dead, and now it's only Ottoman Empire left to defend. MUDBOYS move up onto the high ground once again, taking down their next Tier 3 tower, turning their sights now onto the barracks. Solar Guardian just to sustain the team a bit through the Macropyre. Ottoman Empire throwing out the spells, but Yams blinking forward, hook just off the mark. Yams has been an absolute menace for this Jakiro the entire game, and looking to find one more, but able to dodge it out. 2 sets of barracks finished now for MUDBOYS, making their way over towards the third. Still 50 seconds before everybody's up. There's the hook. This time it's on the Dark Willow. Meteor comes out, and they do not care that she's in the Shadow Realm. They have so much ground damage that Snow cannot see her own hero, and dies in darkness. Mega Creeps will be finished. Ziggy G and Yams find another catch, jumping forward onto Ottoman Empire, trying to ensure that there's never a time for HPGG to have all 5 of their heroes back up, and trying to ensure that MUDBOYS are the ones who will move on here in the lower bracket of the Quas division. Word's getting scoped out. Yams wants to go fishing in the fountain and is gonna find a Sand King. Members there, but immediately interrupted by the roar. They want some revenge. They bring down Yams. Yams by his back wants to do some more fishing. Jaeger Knight gets brought down in the end. Ziggy G pops back up on the Reincarnate. Gex jumps in. The Ancient is exposed. They're going to turn their sights on the throne. Look to close this game out. HPGG trying to battle back, trying to stay in it. They're going to do everything they can until the very last second, but Ziggy G turns back towards the throne, finishes off Miss Snow once again, turn towards Bork, try to find one more kill, but GG is called. MUDBOYS are your winners. They take the series 2-0, and they will be moving on in the lower bracket. Huge props to Harry Potter and the Glizzy Goblet. Very fun team to watch throughout this season. Very tough to see them go here in the Quas lower bracket. But looking forward to seeing what they bring next year, because this is always a very fun team to watch. They were also, should be mentioned as we wrap things up here. They are, or were, your reigning upper division champions. They won the Diadem bracket last year, which was the name of our upper division. And so now we are guaranteed to crown new champions of the upper division. Now, there is still a possibility. There is another one of last year's champions. There's the crown champion in Team Drip, who is still alive in the Quas bracket. So they still have a chance at a repeat title. But they were coming from the middle division last year, moved up to the upper division this year. So yeah, fun storylines going on. But we'll dive a little bit more into this game before we wrap up. Very impressive performance from MUDBOYS. Darth Mauled 18-3, busting out the level 30 Invoker, taking advantage of the skills of their stand-in here in game number 2. That's going to be your MVP, just stat line alone. I mean, very impressive performance. Yam's also right up there. This Pudge was certainly a huge part of how they win this game. Everybody on MUDBOYS played very well, of course. Everybody on HPGG played quite well as well. But yeah, overall, I mean, a little bit cleaner, a little bit less back and forth than game 1. MUDBOYS, it was very close. You can see, up until here, it was very close. HPGG had a little bit of a lead, but then it was just MUDBOYS the rest of the way. Looking forward to seeing more of them. We'll poke our heads over to the bracket for a moment. We will see them next against Looming Fruit, team that I'm quite familiar with as I play on it. So I'm looking forward to playing against these guys. We always love playing against MUDBOYS. seeing if we can take them down here to move on. That's going to be fun. 51st State versus Arpaz One is Legend is also slated for tomorrow, I believe. That's going to be one to watch out for to see who goes up against putting the R and RD2L in the upper bracket finals for the Quas division. Those are, I feel like those three teams were pretty firmly the top three seeds for the Quas division. So no surprise seeing them, the last three remaining in the upper bracket. Curious to see which one of them moves on and who Team Drip will be matching up against to try to make this this run at another repeat for Team Drip. But it's a tough path in the upper bracket. Going to be very fun to watch all of these matches. Looking forward to all of them, really. Yeah, that's about all I've got. Thank you everybody for joining us. If you want to learn more about WLDL, if you want to see more of the games, want to stay on top of when they're happening, best bet for that is the Discord. That's where everything's kept track of. We've got like a website and stuff, but the Discord's where all of the up-to-date information is. So that's your best bet. I'll send a link out for that. I don't want to do it yet because you're on a 5-minute delay. So if I send it in chat now, you'll see it what for me was 5 minutes ago, which might be before the game ended, and you might get the idea that the game's over. But hopefully I'll time it right, and you'll see it right about now when I'm blabbing about all this. Yeah. Again, thanks for joining. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Keep an eye. We got a ton of games going on this weekend and like into Monday. There it kind of lined up that like yesterday we had a bunch of newly scheduled games or games like that should have been scheduled, and then today like almost every single match that hadn't been scheduled yet got scheduled, and most of them are for this weekend. So lots of action this weekend. Might be doing some more casts. We'll see how things line up. Yeah, looking forward to it. Have a great time. Thanks again for being here.